Good evening, everyone. Wherever you are, I hope that you are well. I thought I would start this evening with just two things I've been thinking about today. Maybe one's just a reminder, but one thing I've been thinking about. So, if you're hearing this, if you are watching this, maybe for the first time, or you've regularly watched us, but you're maybe not connected with our church, or you just want to see more of these, I'm going to be doing these every evening at 8 o'clock. If you aren't already doing that, our church Facebook page is Scandia Covenant Church, Scandia. If you click the like button on that, you will get notifications when we go live, or you can just watch these back, even if you're not able to be with us at 8 o'clock on an evening. I don't do that as a way to promote it. I'm just saying if you want more, if you want to be connected a little bit more, you can also, these are also archived at our church website, scandiacov.org. So you can do that. The other thing I was thinking about today is how we talk to each other. People at our church, you know that I don't love the phrase, "How are you doing?" Because I feel like it's very not personal, because we have a way that we're used to responding. I would say, "How are you doing?" And you would say, "Fine, how are you?" And I'd say, "Great." And then we'd both say, "Have a good day," and then be on our way. And I wonder if our language doesn't need to change during this time. Maybe we don't need to ask each other, "How are you doing?" But maybe we need to say things like, "How are you getting through?" Or "How are you managing?" Or "Do you need something?" Or "How are you holding up?" I guess I just wonder, and I want to maybe challenge you, in the few moments when you do get to talk to people, choose your words carefully. Let them be words that are caring words, words that that you're not just throwing away. Let's dig deep into the heart of how people are doing in this season. All right, our devotion for tonight, we started last night in Romans 12. I started with verse 9 in Romans 12, and it was talking a lot about love being sincere, and how we're supposed to live, serving the Lord and being joyful in hope and things like that. And so we're just going to continue on. So I read verses 9 to 13 last night. So I'm going to pick up in verse 14. We're just going to do 14, 15, and 16 tonight. And then probably tomorrow night, I'm just going to finish out that little chunk, 17 to 21. So this is Romans chapter 12, starting with verse 14. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Mourn with those who mourn. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud, but be willing to associate with people of low position. Do not be conceited. When I hear that, I hear these words of coming together, of equality, of caring for the people around us, mourning for those who mourn, and rejoicing for those who rejoice, blessing even the people that persecute you, the people that don't like you, the people that are different from you, living in harmony with one another, not too proud to associate with those of low stature. To me, it just speaks to caring for people, for being conscious of how people are doing, and who they are as people. Most of you know, for a couple years I drove taxi for a company just outside of Pittsburgh, and in those few years I got to experience people from every walk of life, picking people up in mansions and picking people up in housing projects that had very little money, and just a wide gambit of people. And one of the many things I learned during that season of life was how we're all the same. I could pick someone up in a mansion and they would ask me if I had seen the Penguins game last night, and I could pick somebody up who I knew was I was taking them to a crack house, and they would also ask me if I saw the Penguins game last night. And that's not just because they loved Pittsburgh hockey. People are people, and some of us have been born into greater privilege than others. And as I read this, I read these words for us to care for each other, to live in harmony with one another. If that doesn't speak to our time right now, I don't know what does. So my prayer for you tonight is that you would care for each other, that you would be reaching out to one another, that you would be intentional about the words you use, and looking out for one another. Can I pray for you? So God, tonight, as I have every night for the last week, I pray for my friends who are hearing this right now. I pray that you touch them right where they are, that you make your presence very known to them, that you would remind them that they are loved, that you care for them so deeply that you would send your Son. God, I thank you for this reminder tonight from Romans, to look out for each other, to live in harmony with one another. Even when people don't like us, we're to love them. God, that is hard. And so we're going to need your strength to carry that out. So God, when we're struggling with that, when we are being judgmental, when we are thinking pretty highly of ourselves, would you remind us of this? Would you give us the strength to walk this out daily? And particularly in this season, would you remind us that you have created us in your image, all of us. God, I thank you for who you are and what you've done through your Son, Jesus Christ, and we ask this in your name. Amen. Friends, we'll see you tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock again. Have a good night. Many blessings to you all. Make sure you wash your hands.